Namor #1, which came out last week. This is the variant edition, and I just bought it at my local comic shop yesterday. And I just read it today while I was sitting out here on the porch. So I thought I'd talk about it. I got the variant edition because it looked cooler. You know, you have more of this, more impressive looking cover. The regular cover sort of has Namor um, like shackled to the bed, which he looks defeated, and that doesn't look very inspiring. So I'm not going to show the whole inside of the comic here, but I just thought I'd show a little bit of it to give a sort of sense of it. It's sort of narrated from Namor's point of view, and the artwork does look kind of strange. It looks a little distorted, but I found it appealing. It looks a little different. Namor does have a kind of funny shaped head, so it does sort of go with that, aesthetic. And what's happened here is he's sort of voluntarily surrendered to the United Nations, but he's being sort of mistreated in this prison by these guards, and he's been denied water, so he, has a hard time maintaining his strength. Although here he's sort of the little droplet of sweat sort of helps, him survive. And he's being this sort of like brine or something like that is this liquid that doesn't help him at all. Sort of weakens him, I guess. And so, like I said, the artwork does kind of look kind of weird. But on the other hand, it kind of reminded me of like, Judge Dredd comics or 2000 AD strips. If you approach it like that, instead of thinking like you're going to get Bill Everett art or John Buscema or somebody like that, then you'll, I think, appreciate it a lot more. So then it flashes back to when he's a young man going to school in Atlantis, and there's some nice bits of Namor in Atlantis. One of the things I like about Namor comics, and I probably didn't like this as much when I was a kid, but nowadays I do like it, is that this issue is like kind of self-contained. It doesn't cross over with the X-Men or Avengers or anything like that. So it's sort of like Namor's world, and that's sort of reflected in here. You can kind of just like get into Namor's world, and it's a unique world. It's not Daredevil's world, it's not Spider-Man's world, it's Submariner's world. Well, in fact, that reminded me, there was a neat little bit here on his prison uniform where it says SM39, which I assume stands for Submariner 39, because the character debuted in 1939. So I assume that's the joke there. Also, this logo, Namor, is the logo from the 1990s, early 1990s Namor series that John Byrne launched. But anyways, the gist of this is that his classmates have sort of, they think he's a freak, because he has funny, he has different skin color than them. But he sort of proves that he's their, superior. He is their king, or their prince. So then we cut back to the present, and these guys look like they're trying to get him out of prison, but actually they're there just to assassinate him. And like I said, the art looks kind of strange, but there's a kind of liveliness to it. It's interesting to me, anyway. There was something else I was going to mention about this storyline, but I can't remember offhand. But while he's getting mistreated in this prison, I kept thinking, how come somebody like Captain America doesn't prevent something like that? Or his friends, his superpowered friends. Now, one of his superpowered friends does show up, Stingray, if friend you can call him. That was another thing that I thought the writing was interesting, because Jason Aaron, it's written by Jason Aaron, and he has a very intelligent way of writing stuff where you might even have to use your thesaurus to look up some of the words he uses. But then there is this little bit here where he kind of writes it in a manner similar to Stan Lee. He says, "Here now is the Submariner, the avenging sun, and Ultraman equally at home in the sea and the sky. Blah, blah, blah. Or so it once was. but dark and fathomless are the ways of the sea. You know, that has sort of a melodramatic 1960s Stan Lee type of writing, or Roy Thomas, you know, someone like that. But then on the other hand, it isn't all like that. It was just, he has a sort of, Namor's personality has sort of this pompous, pretentious way of talking that is not like a normal person. You know, and so he maintains that. You know, there's sort of a dignity to Namor in the way, even in the way he talks. Um, so Stingray gives him the lowdown on what's going on in the undersea kingdoms, and that there's no just one king of Atlantis. There's like 7 different kings who are vying for control. And then you flash back to his childhood again. Like I said, I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but Stingray enables him to get a 4-day release from the surface dwellers to maybe go back down to Atlantis and try to bring order to the chaos that's going on down there. And he's back in his old, you know, togs from the 1970s, that black suit that people seem to have a nostalgic feeling for. And anyways, so he finally goes back to the sea, which he had been avoiding for all this time. This, I don't think the artwork works that well on like a splash page like that. You know, it doesn't seem very, it doesn't have the sort of action impact that it should have. You know, it just looks kind of awkwardly posed. But I think the artwork works better on those other pages. Well, these ones look nice, but these ones where it's more like where there's storytelling involved, I think it works a lot better. Anyway, so there's the credits for the issue. It says Paul Davidson and Alex Limbs are the artists. I don't know if that means one inked and one penciled, or if they did different parts of the issue. You know, like one did one half of the issue, the other did the other half. Like maybe one did the childhood sequence and the other one did the adult sequence. I don't know. That would explain, you know, some of the different types of art going on there. And then you have a little blurb for next issue. Now, I picked this up on a whim. I wasn't sure. Yeah, I had no plans to follow this series. I think it's supposed to run around 10 issues. And the first issue here is $4.99. But it is kind of thick. There's like a lot of pages. In fact, we'll count them here. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So there's 31 pages. So that's pretty good. You know, that's comparable to DC's, you know, like Action Comics and Detective Comics. They have a $4.99 cover price. So yeah, I thumbs up for me. I enjoyed this more than I thought I would. So yeah, I recommend checking it out. Namor #1, and look forward. And there's also a couple other variant covers too. One has Deadpool. There's another one that drawn by a different artist that just has his, you know, shows Namor like his face or sitting down or something like that. So, you know, then there's the regular cover where he's all like in bed, chained down. But yeah, I like this series more than I thought I would, and I'm definitely going to buy issue #2 when it comes out. Anyways, thanks for watching.